watching TAG TV.
Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Surbhi Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Wednesday, the 28th of November. Two terrorists gunned down in encounter in India's Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan lays foundation stone for cross-border pilgrim corridor. An Afghan president forms team to negotiate peace with Taliban. And now for all the details. Security forces gunned down two terrorists on Wednesday in an encounter in Budgam district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province. The slain terrorists included a top commander of Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Toiba terror group, a senior police official said.
Two terrorists were neutralized by security forces in a gunfight in Budgam district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province on Wednesday. The encounter broke out in Chatergam area of Budgam district early on Wednesday morning after a joint team of security forces zeroed in on a suspected place following inputs about the presence of terrorists in the area. Senior police officials said one of the slain terrorists was identified as Naveed Jatt, a top commander of Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Toiba terror group, who was also involved in the killing of a journalist in June this year.
आज का जो एनकाउंटर पिछली रात का रहा, इसमें भी 2 मिलिटेंट मारे गए हैं, मगर बड़ी बात ये है कि अभी तक की ग्राउंड वेरिफिकेशन के मुताबिक उसमें नवीद जाट भी मारा गया है। और नवीद जाट अकेला अगर मिलिटेंट देखें जो इस वक्त जो उसका लेवल था जहां पर, तो ही वाज वन ऑफ द टॉप मोस्ट कमांडर्स ऑफ लश्कर-ए-तौबा।
India accuses neighboring Pakistan of regularly arming terrorists and helping them infiltrate across the border to mount attacks on Indian soil. Pakistan denies the allegations.
In news from Pakistan, Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan on Wednesday laid the foundation stone for the construction of a cross-border pilgrim corridor in Pakistan's Narowal district. The road corridor will facilitate easy passage to Indian Sikh pilgrims to the historic Gurudwara Kartarpur Sahib in Pakistan, where Guru Nanak, the founder of Sikhism, spent the last 18 years of his life.
Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan on Wednesday performed the groundbreaking of cross-border pilgrim corridor connecting Gurudwara Kartarpur Sahib in Pakistan's Narowal district to Dera Baba Nanak in India's Gurdaspur district. This came after Indian Vice President Venkaiah Naidu on Monday laid the foundation stone for the corridor from the Indian side. The road corridor will enable Sikh pilgrims to visit Gurudwara Kartarpur Sahib on the banks of River Ravi in Pakistan to mark the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak, the founder of Sikhism, next year. Indian Minister for Food Harsimrat Kaur Badal and Minister for Housing Hardeep Singh Puri also attended the ceremony in Pakistan.
कि हिंदुस्तान एक कदम आगे बढ़ाएगा, हम 2 कदम हिंदुस्तान के आगे बढ़ाएंगे दोस्ती में। मैं आज आप सबको फिर से आपको वेलकम करता हूं, खुशामदीद कहता हूं, और मुझे सबसे ज़्यादा आपकी शक्ल के ऊपर देख के खुशी हुई कि आप वही आपकी शक्लों पे खुशी है जो एक मुसलमान जब वो मदीना जाता है तो हमारी शक्लों पे खुशी होती है।
Gurudwara Kartarpur Sahib is situated in district Narowal in Pakistan, nearly 3 miles away from the Indo-Pakistan border. It has a great significance for the Sikh community because Guru Nanak spent the last 18 years of his life there. Presently, Sikh pilgrims have to go through long visa processes and have to wait for the particular dates of buses to reach the Gurudwara via Wagah border only.
Moving on, load shedding and the increase in the price of electricity have been a major problem for residents in Pakistan-administered Kashmir. It has now triggered unrest as residents in the illegally occupied region claim authorities are not doing much to solve the problem.
With regular load shedding a norm across the illegally occupied region of Pakistan-administered Kashmir, the optimism public had before the installation of Neelam Jhelum hydropower project seems to have faded away. The project has not only caused long hours of load shedding but has also rendered locals clamoring for drinking water amid a host of other problems they face on a regular basis. They say that it is ironic that the hub of hydropower generation, Pakistan-administered Kashmir suffers long and persistent power outages that sometimes remain up till weeks.
तो कल सुबह बिजली जल्दी है, शामी आती है, रात 9-10 बजे आती है, बाज़ का फिर 6 बजे आती, फिर 7 बजे बंद चली जल्दी है, फिर कोई 10-11 बजे आती है. लोगों बाकी तो मशीनरियाँ देते में तो चलाते नहीं, लेकिन मसले जरा के जरा खाली बल्ब हो यानी कि रोशनी बाद में उसकी सूरत है, बाकी है तो वो मशीनरियाँ तो चलती नहीं तो, लेकिन उस वास्ते भी लाइट जड़ी है लोग यानी कि बिल्कुल मजबूर है.
झेलम का प्रोजेक्ट जो है मुकम्मल हो गया है, लेकिन उसके बावजूद जो है लोड शेडिंग ख़त्म नहीं हो रही ना. दूसरी जो है पानी का जो मसला है वो पुराना पाइप जो काला पाइप बिछाया गया ना कि यहाँ से पानी मिलेगा आसानी होगी, लेकिन जो का तू है वो अभी तक जो है वो पानी जारी नहीं हो सका ना.
Locals allege it is part of Islamabad's agenda to keep the region underdeveloped. Pakistan-administered Kashmir was illegally occupied by Pakistan more than 6 decades ago. However, the Pakistani establishment has failed to develop the infrastructure of the region, leaving the people high and dry.
In news from Afghanistan, Afghan President Ashraf Ghani on Wednesday formed a negotiating team to seek a peace agreement that would include the Taliban in a democratic and inclusive society that respects the rights of women. Ghani, while speaking at a conference in Geneva, said his chief of staff would lead the negotiating team and there would also be an advisory board comprising 9 diverse and representative committees to give inputs for the negotiations. Meanwhile, Afghanistan's chief executive Abdullah said the 5-phased approach would start with an intra-Afghan dialogue followed by discussions with Pakistan and the United States and then regional actors.
The societal reconciliation process.
Thank you very much.
I am pleased to announce today that after several months of intensive consultation with our citizens across the country, we formulated a roadmap for peace negotiations. We formed the required bodies and mechanisms to pursue a peace agreement. We are now moving ahead into the next chapter of the peace process.
Now I'd like to ask Minister...
More news from Afghanistan. Afghan senators on Tuesday summoned security chiefs over spike in threats and to answer questions over the serious security situation in the country. The concerns in the Afghan parliament comes at a time when efforts for the peace with the Taliban have been stepped up in the country.
Senators in Afghanistan's upper house of parliament on Tuesday summoned 3 heads of security institutions to appear before the house to answer questions over the serious security situation in the country. The summoned security heads included Defence Minister Tariq Shah Behrami, Interior Minister Wais Ahmad Barmak and Head of National Directorate of Security Masoom Stanigzai. While briefing the senators, Stanigzai said the security institutions have outlined a strategy which aims to put more pressure on the insurgents.
د افغانستان په ډیرو ولایتونو کې جګړه روانه ده او مشکلات ستونزې دي او د افغانستان د ډیرو سیمو مشکلات او ستونزې یو ورځ در بلې ورځې خرابېدو خواته روان دي.
با یک نتیجه کلی برسیم که در کدام نقطه افغانستان در کجا به چه ترتیب سر وضع امنیتی باید یک تاثیر مثبت داشته باشیم، اولویت‌ها در کجا هستند.
The concerns in the Afghan parliament comes at a time when the country is witnessing an increase in deadly terror attacks. Recent among the attacks was an explosion in a banquet hall where Islamic religious scholars had gathered in the Afghan capital Kabul. More than 50 people were killed in the suicide bomb attack.
Moving on to news from Nepal, a restaurant in Nepal's capital Kathmandu has deployed locally designed robots to serve the customers. The customers can place the orders using touch screens and the robot brings everything to the table. A restaurant in Nepal's capital city Kathmandu has become a hit among the customers who visit the eatery to get served by the robots. The restaurant has displayed locally designed robot Ginger to serve the customers who can place the orders by using touch screens, and the robot brings everything to the table. Naulo is the first fully digitized restaurant in Nepal to use robots to serve the customers. Although a bit slow on its wheels, the waiter robots are popular among the local customers and children who often try to divert it from its trajectory.
So for this we went to China and Japan and did our research and saw the market analysis. We did market analysis about how the market is, and we saw there is a potential market in the international market for waiter robot, mostly where the labor cost is very high. So we came back and we sat down in our office, and then we compared with different robots around the world, around the companies which are producing around the world, and then we developed this service robots here in Nepal.
3 waiter robots are currently working at Naulo restaurant, which opened its door to the public 4 months ago. The robots have been equipped with swarm intelligence, object recognition, speech recognition and auto dock capability to carry out the serving operations. A biannual joint military exercise between India and Russia concluded on Wednesday in India's northern Jhansi city. The exercise aimed at enhancing peacekeeping operations and strengthen special tactical operations to fight against the threat of global terrorism.
India and Russia on Tuesday participated in biannual joint military exercise Indra 2018 in Jhansi city of India's northern Uttar Pradesh province to exchange tactics, techniques and procedures to fight against the threat of global terrorism. The joint military exercise, conducted under the banner of United Nations, involved 500 soldiers, 250 each from the 5th Army of the Russian Federation and Indian Army's Mechanized Infantry Battalion. The exercise was aimed at boosting military ties between the two countries by enhancing team building, house intervention, peacekeeping operations and strengthening special tactical operations.
और जॉइंट लेवल पे इसलिए एक्सरसाइज की गई ताकि रशियंस और भारतीय सेना एक दूसरे की काबिलियत को समझें, इक्विपमेंट को समझें और ज़रूरत पड़ने पर यूनाइटेड नेशंस के मल्टीनेशनल फोर्स के तहत मिलजुल कर काम को ज़ाया कर सकें.
Indra 2018 is taking place at a time of heightened tension between the West and Russia, and North Atlantic Treaty Organization has said it will monitor the exercise closely, as will the United States, which has a strong military presence in the Asia-Pacific region. India and Russia have a long history of cooperation in the military field and have been holding joint war games for several years now, with the involvement of all 3 services of the armed forces.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. 2 terrorists gunned down in encounter in India's Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan lays foundation stone for cross-border pilgrim corridor. An Afghan president forms teams to negotiate peace with Taliban. And now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.